Sometime in the future, I'm going to do the campaign on that, probably with in co-op probably, and see how it goes. So they do have Time Splitters 1's whole campaign in it, at least, as far as I know.
Well, you managed to launch the box station into space. I still think smashing it into a town would have sent a stronger message.
I know, I saw that, Joda. I literally saw it like before the halftime. I was like, damn, they're getting their ass whooped. And then all of a sudden, like, I check later to see what the score is, and it's just like final 24-21. I was like, damn, that is horrible. That is horrible. I don't know how the fuck that happened.
Use only Auntie's authentic biomass goo.
Imagine the cowboy phone
Accept
from New
no
Vegas.
goo substitutes.
And now I gotta get used to the movement system on this game because I was playing a completely different game. Me with Zublin. Where are we, anyways? Boatfly, kill it. That's a companion. It's peaceful. Wait, hold on. Which quest am I doing right now? Okay. Reunite with Zublin. Let me see. Let me look at where we're at for one. It was Zublin. Oh, we're back here. Okay. Oh, we'll leave Tristan here for now then. Check from the NFL cached after Eagles play the 400 mod list. I guess we're gonna go do no harm. To 163 MB on drive. My mods and I stored supposed to. It's time to fucking play the 400 mod list. Oh. NFL cash after the Eagles went up 21-0. Yeah. You know what happened is I read what Joda was saying and then I somehow skipped into what you were saying, Paul Henderson, unintentionally. I had to go back and reread what Joda said for a second. I was like, wait a minute. He's back for a while. Don't know for how long though. Okay.
As I told you before, we need to wait for Niles. You're back, and you've brought Niles. Good.
Gotta say you had me worried. The message you sent sounded serious.
Then I composed it accurately. To the task at hand. We are standing before the tomb of the matriarch. Few are invited to tour its halls, and even fewer know of its greatest secret.
Don't keep me in suspense. Niles told me the tomb is where the matriarch and the first sovereign are buried.
For any subject, visiting the matriarch and first sovereign's resting place is the pinnacle of anti-social achievement. But the tomb's corpses are its least important feature. The intelligence my friends risked all to acquire revealed a vault in its lowest level containing the matriarch's body of work, hidden from the public. Who knows what technologies the Protectorate is withholding? If the matriarch was the genius she is purported to be, the skip drive cannot be the entirety of her inventions.
Leos. But just it's not another Leo. Oh my god, Paul Anderson. Oh, hopefully he could break the curse. Hopefully. Or time lucky? Perhaps. What are you thinking? Weapons technology? Because I could use a new gun or 5.
I would not put it past the Protectorate to disrespect their dead by tucking weapons in alongside them. Whatever technological advancements may be sequestered here,
It is-
the goal is almost certainly to keep the populace of Arcadia subservient to the pernicious whims of its governing body. But not for much longer. We are going to liberate any and all of the Matriarch's research, whatever it may be, and distribute it to the people.
I do hope it goes well for you, though, Paul Anderson. I really do. A huge risk here. What if you're wrong?
Time for considering risk is past. We cannot afford to be timid when battling giants. Besides, now I have 2 Earth Directorate agents to assist me. What could go wrong?
Oz, what do you make of this
I
plan?
can see a half dozen points of failure, but bad odds ain't ever stopped us before.
Glad we're operating under the same understanding. We're unlikely to have another chance like this. We must follow through now that we've made the opening. Which also means, once inside, we cannot leave until it's done.
Can't. Well, mission sounds dangerous. Maybe you should stay here. Your friends here be helping us?
They'll be taking up strategic positions to guard the entrance and watching for any stray Protectorate patrols. We'll move more swiftly in fewer numbers.
This whole mission sounds pretty dangerous. Maybe you should stay here.
Slim chance of that. I'll not assign a task to others that I'm unwilling to undertake myself.
Color me surprised.
Since I'm waiting, let's do this.
After you.
Break into the Matriarch's vault. Let's see what we can have. Doing us a little heist here.
Stay close and keep silent. The less attention we draw, the better. Well, I see you already made the rounds. Perfect. Let's continue then.
Oh, where he went. Now, if we get busted, I don't know you, okay? If we get busted.
There. You can access the lower level now. The security room that we need to reach is nearby. Should be able to disable that energy barrier from there.
Who goes? No one is allowed in here without the proper authorization. Ah, I see you have come armed. Intruders, then. I suppose you intend to extract my surrender through means most lurid and foul.
Damn, the head curator. I had hoped to slip in before his shift, but no matter. We cannot allow him to leave and raise the alarm. He must be dispatched, quickly.
How's that now?
Now hold on. I know we had to kill that fella with the Sentinel, but this man's unarmed. He's already surrendered.
That's right, we're doctorate agents, not cold-blooded murderers.
I rather think that line has some blurry distinction.
How much of a fuss could this one fella cause, really? Come on, Zeb. No need to cut any bellies over maybes and ifs.
Please, if secrecy's your concern, you may rely upon me to be the utmost spirit of discretion. I have never betrayed a confidence in my life.
Allowing him to leave would be a grave error of mercy, one we can ill afford in this place.
Wait, hold on. My another Oblivion remaster streamer is back to his new run, and I've never seen such an abomination or character. His name is Jeff, and he's fucking Pumpkinhead. Oh my god. Big jaw, long ears, wide mouth. I'll share a screenshot in Discord later. Okay. You guys train your case. Let's make now's the time.
If we start gunning down civilians, where does it end, Zeb? Ain't Arcadia covered in enough blood?
You need me to clear that moral obstruction for you? Fine. This man is an instrument of empire, perpetuating the tyrant's lies. And were our positions reversed, he would not hesitate to execute us, or worse, send us to mental refreshment.
I'm kin to the risks, Zeb.
Are you? Can you even fathom the indignity of having your every
Shame I
thought
can't show it here.
scrutinized
This
and
one gets me
scored
sub.
and made
Okay.
perfect? My sister was made into a
Become
shadow.
global, yeah.
I endured daily sessions with the lathe of particularity and still find myself policing my own mind for untoward proclivities and inclinations.
They could have made it a follow emote. 'Cause they do have follow emotes that you can get for following. Sorry that happened to you, Zeb, but we need to be better than the
The
Proctor.
commander's right. This man didn't put you in the lathe, Zeb. He's just trapped in the system, same as everyone else.
I never have possessed immunity against your pleading. Fine, you're free to leave.
Oh, nice.
Do not repay this kindness with treachery.
Okay,
You
those are
are
pretty neat.
merciful and wise. I will depart at once.
Let's hope the consequences of this decision do not assert themselves while we're still here. You and Niall should turn off the power to the security barrier and make your way to the vault. I'll remain here and guide you as best I can through the labyrinth. No turning back now.
White chocolate yummies. Okay. Trauma kit. I'm liking this ambient music.
No going back from here. Not until we've done what we came here to.
Hold! Don't set foot in that room. The schematics on this console indicate this place is defended by all manner of traps. One moment. Yes. It appears there are N-ray tripwires, invisible to the naked eye, that will electrify the
Boom,
floors if
Fox.
crossed. Move cautiously. And if you have any gadgets that might help, I suggest using them.
Oh, you know what?
Over here, Commander. Reckon I found something that might be useful later. Have a look, Commander. With a little elbow grease and some inadvisable engineering, reckon I can finagle these components into a fine explosive gel. Who knows? Could come in handy.
Jeez, Niles, are you that eager to blow something up? The inadvisable part gives me pause.
Just a jape, Commander. I know what I'm doing.
Trying to keep a low profile. Hunt explosives going to help us do that.
Damn, Commander. You don't have to work me over for a simple idea. Thought you appreciated a little ingenuity is all. Forget it. Let's just keep on. I'll continue tinkering on this in the meantime, just in case.
It's giving him a hard time.
which switch is which.
Well, I'll not lament a stroke of good fortune.
Does that seem a little off to you, Commander?
Well, I'm prepared, but I think he's doing the best. You know him better than I do. What do you think?
I think he's starting to worry me. That business with the curator. I'm glad Zeb stood down, but it was close. Never seen him so eager for bloodletting before. He's changed. Ain't sure for the better.
So there are a lot of loss.
Losing Audra couldn't have helped neither. Still wish we could have done more there. Well, no use stewing. We've still got a vault to break into and tyrannical government to topple.
By my grandmother, I cannot abide the time this research into the rifts is taking. It has been years, and yet I am still absent my wife and daughter. I am still half whole. The researchers swear it's possible to bring them back from the void. Perhaps those are only pretty lies intended to pacify me. But I trust Dr. Hurley to tell me the truth. I know the Consul wishes me to give up this obsession and focus on the war effort, but why should I? Am I not sovereign of Arcadia? Should my desires not take priority?
That vault door is quite the obstruction. Fortunately, there should be a code. No. Fuck! They changed it recently. That shouldn't have happened until next week. I'm certain I can diagnose the issue. Now that you've cleared the way, I'll come down and join you.
I might have something else that can get you into that bug, Commander.
Hey, we got to level up.
Remember those components I found? I was able to turn them into something halfway useful after all. This gel should get us through that vault door.
Never doubted you for a
You
moment.
take the honors, Commander. I'll be right behind you.
Not. I was hoping for a more subtle incursion, but no matter.
Am I running hot, or was that a hint of worry I heard in your voice back there?
Alas,
Plus one critical
I neglected
chance.
to pack a thermometer. This terminal should allow me to retrieve all the information stored here.
Long as an excerpt from Personal Journal of Matriarch. With that, I had never been forced to rely on Air to secure my legacy. With each passing day, Rubian strengthens my conviction at what a mistake it was to give him life, and more than that, power. Since becoming sovereign, he has tightened his fist around the colony, throttling my dreams for it. He's rewriting history, bending the facts to his own purpose. My warnings and rebuffs land on him as flies, and are just easily dismissed. I am too old now, too powerless, and more full of dread than Arcadia's future than ever before. My poor beloved protectorate. I fear it's a threshold of becoming nearly unrecognizable, even to its own mother. Appears to be a selection from First Bishop's writings deemed incendiary by the Proctorate and purged from all public records. Written near the end of his life, First Bishop Lambert's the direction of Arcadia was taken, especially since Matriarch's death. His role to establish the order as a bulwark against dissent. The last few lines read, the numbers support the arguments, but what if our original thesis was wrong?
This cannot be right. There's nothing here save the designs for the skip drive. Not even initial concepts. 10 years in Arcadia and the Matriarch invented nothing? And what's this about a deal with the Earth Directorate? We need to talk. Now.
In times of darkness, we must hold our principles dear. I fear the longer this war continues, the further we stray from them. Every step we take must honor the Matriarch. I tell Henry this, but he is set in his ways. His notions regarding these rifts are sorely misguided. Why close them when we can use them to Arcadia's benefit? It matters not what the Order thinks, what the Doubters say. The Architect bestowed us with the power of skip drives so that we may secure a perfect future. We must act with haste. I only ever wished for Henry to embrace his role as the caretaker of Arcadia, the savior of us all. But if he has chosen a different path, I will do as I must. And I must not fail.
I knew the Protectorate festered with lies, but I had no idea the Earth Directorate was complicit. Niles, did you know?
Slow up, Zeb. What are you talking about?
It says your agency struck an agreement with the Matriarch over a century ago. In exchange for skip drives, Arcadia was allowed to completely govern itself with absolutely no outside interference.
Oh, shit.
Including from the Earth Directorate.
Explains all the secrecy around this, sending us to Horizon
Must
Point.
be why the chief said we'd be on our own if we were caught. We were breaking the terms of this agreement. Unbelievable.
If this information is true, then the Earth Directorate permitted the Matriarch to create a colony filled with her vassals, enslaved to her will. Everything Arcadia is, all of the suffering that's taken place here, it all could have been avoided. Things could have been different.
Those with power and bits will always exploit those without. This was inevitable.
That's just another story those in power tell to keep the rest of us complacent. We need to put that tale to the torch, even if it means setting the whole system on fire.
Not sure I'd go that far. Not when innocent people will get hurt in the process.
The decision may not be up to you.
Let's say you're right, Zeb. What comes next?
I confess, my plans for After are more nebulous. The problems of that time are for greater minds than mine to solve, but they should have that opportunity, and we can create it for them.
You've got a glint in your eye. There's more that you found, isn't there?
The skip drive schematics are here. How the explosive safeguards against tampering work, its evolution over time. But no original concepts, no sketches, nothing. Our dear Matriarch is a fraud, a cheat. She did not invent the skip drive. There are messages here between her and the First Sovereign that all but confirm it. I thought I might find some technological innovation that could be handed to the Protectorate's enemies. But this is almost better.
Hope you're not thinking of releasing the skip drive blueprint to the public.
By releasing this information, we can thoroughly crush the image the Protectorate has been built upon. The Sovereign will be revealed as the unclothed emperor he is, and demolish Arcadia's myth of superiority. If we administer truth to the people, their strength will return. Erstwhile, giving the skip drive designs to the Protectorate's enemies will even the fight. their technological prowess will be made into nothing. Everything will come apart.
Terrible idea. Skip drives are what's causing the rifts.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Not to mention how this agreement with the Protectorate will completely destroy the Earth Directorate's reputation.
I was not aware of such a connection between rifts and the skip drives. But I have confidence the Order will figure out a solution. Science is their theater, after all. As for the Earth Directorate, don't you see? This frees them from any obligation to the Protectorate. They'll be able to manufacture skip drives themselves. The deal will be voided.
Still undecided. What do you think, Niles?
It's worth holding the Earth Directorate's feet to the fire for this deal, but I don't think the entire organization should be judged by its worst decision. It's done a lot of good, too. Plus, making the skip drive tech available, that's like throwing a lit match into a fuel converter. Can't think of a worse idea right now.
Do you think the Protectorate stand around debating the potential for injury? No. They act, and so must we. Damn the consequences.
Yeah, but I don't think it's working out. We should cut our losses.
And should I refuse to leave empty-handed? What then?
Force to stop you by whatever means necessary. I really don't want to do that.
Whoa. Put the brakes on, Commander. I'm sure Zeb can be reasoned with. I know you're aiming to do the most good for the most amount of people, Zeb, but sowing chaos ain't the way.
Do you know how many of my friends died so we could reach this point? Audra sacrificed herself. And you would have me what? Give up now on the cusp of victory? Lay bare my throat for the Protectorate machine to cut?
You're so dramatic. Listen to what Niles is actually saying.
I am listening. Though I suppose I could stand to be a little more receptive. Out of respect for my friend, I will forestall the release of this information and seek another avenue to help liberate the people of Arcadia.
Glad you were able to see reason. I was worried for a minute there.
I'll remain here for a while longer to cover our tracks. The Protectorate will discover the break-in, but hopefully never learn more specifics of what we did and found.
Guess this is goodbye.
Only for now. If we both come out of this war intact, I'll find you. If you wish to be found, of course.
I want to talk it over with the Commander, but yeah, maybe we can work something out.
All right. Seen that timestamp of the stream, right? You shared. It was a pretty cool feature. Lean gun pointing. Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty neat. Could be using it as a Titan's alternative, Midwestern Power Armor Revolution. Maybe it resembles the Fallout Tactics Power Armor. Yeah, it looks pretty neat. Well, I wish that the mod that it required supported all the armors, you know, because it requires like a resource type thing, you know, to use. But I wish all the armors, like vanilla armors, are supported by said system. It would be neat. But I don't think they all are, though, unfortunately. And I don't think there's, if there is any patches for it, I don't know of them. That would only cover that one armor, you know, the new armor, and that's it. I'm glad we were able to convince him otherwise. Figure out how I'm gonna. Can I go under this?
In spite of substantial efforts to prolong his life, my father's condition continues to deteriorate, both physically and mentally. It has been difficult to observe. His latest effort would see him entombed within an automechanical body. I objected, of course, to my father becoming some chimera of machine and man, but was overruled. Now the Order informs me that, far from being a panacea, this attempt has exacted a toll on my father that is likely to finish what time and disease have already begun. I may soon be sovereign. And if that bears out,
I would love to use it
I will need to
alternative
hide
though.
all of this.
For sure, it looks really
Burn
solid.
all of my father's research into longevity. Seal his automech body away at the factory. What grief I will inherit. What mess.
There they are! These are the ruffians who threatened me! See that they join their...
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander.
Restore my life or avenge my death. I'm alive. Who needs to die?
Damn it. Zeb was right. We never should let that curator go. We could have prevented this.
Oh, I mean, we made our decision, so there's not really much we could do.
What is it?
No, I take advantage of your engineering skills.
All right, but we best do this quick.
So he's got an upgrade that I can give him. Owl's shot now ricochets off targets, dealing damage to a second nearby enemy. His weapons can also increase damage overall. Shots occasionally knock down targets have increased damage. I like the ricochet one. Now his reflex amplifier now reflects a portion of his attacks back to the attacker. Also increases the effectiveness of his armor. Flies over an area, increasing the evasion when standing near him. Also greatly increases his... Oh yeah, we could have prevented this. But unfortunately, it was going to happen one way or another. Although we could have saved the amount of people that we killed had we not, done that. So lucky that I've downloaded A Wish for Nuclear Winter because it's hidden since May. Says it's not done yet.
Don't even know where to start with everything that happened in there. At least we were able to talk Zeb out of his plan to release everything we uncovered. I'm all for sowing chaos in the Protectorate. But that kind of information is liable to do more harm than good in the wrong hands.
Zeb had the right idea. He was just going about it all wrong. How do you feel about the Earth Doctorate now that you know the truth?
I expect backroom dealing from unregulated corporations, not from the only agency keeping them in check. The Earth Directorate should be better than that.
These are just past actions from the future, but we don't know all the circumstances.
You're telling me you wouldn't have done things differently, or at least tried to.
Of course, but I also think those involved with the deal probably had good intentions.
Permission to speak candid, Commander.
Granted.
Strange as it sounds, this whole experience with Zeb has helped me finally understand the position Augustine was in. Back at Horizon Point, ain't easy having to decide between your allies and protecting untold innocence.
Get my ears clean. Did you just hear you express sympathy for Diveris?
I'm not saying what she did was forgivable, but I find myself wondering what would have happened if she lived. Isn't that the damnedest thing?
Think she would have tried to make amends if she lived?
I think she'd have done what she believed was the right thing. Up to the last. Whether that ultimately led her to redemption or perdition, who can say? Suppose it's all a moot point now. Reckon time will decide the heroes from villains in this tale, but it's gonna be hard to forgive the Earth Directorate for arranging the stage like this in the first place.
They're not entirely to blame. We all made choices that led us here.
Deep down, I'm still convinced the galaxy is better with the Earth Directorate in it, flawed as it is. But what happened with Arcadia can never be allowed to happen again. Something has to change within the Directorate, and I think we're best positioned to see that reformation through. All said, I appreciate you giving me the space to work through this. Sort of feels like the future's opening back up after a long time closed.
Anytime now is out, always be there for you.
Likewise, Commander.
What last offender? After using companion ability, Niles' reflex amplifier is overcharged, negating 100% of incoming attacks for a short duration. We're slowly creeping to that, like, max level, you know? The incognito. Let's go back here because we still have 2 companion quests left. Well, one of them kind of have to wait and see. Tristan and Marsful that we still got to get their quest done. Now we also got to get hers done. Wait, I never heard of that mod that you're talking about, Paul Anderson. It's a good thing you have it backed up, though, at least. Maybe something you don't own for now. Well, I have something you don't own for now as well, so. Bring Inez and Marsul. And I have like the Unforgiven. I think you found a way to get that, didn't you? I wouldn't say that necessarily though, Paul Anderson, to be honest. You might actually have more than me. I mean, yeah, I got the Frontier 1.0, like the original release of the Frontier. Which, I mean, you could find it by other means probably. But yeah. And then I have the Unforgiven. Those are probably the only 2 mods that I probably have, which you may or may not have
a middle manager
already.
to focus their earning potential.
Voice lines are English. Ah, okay. I mean, I do have one of the other mods that mod author made backed up as well, so that's another thing. A Legion one, but yeah.
Inez, have you come back for a tune-up? I've got just the injection for that. Freezes those pesky muscles right back into place.
No, yeah, a tune-up sounds good.
I got a device that might help stabilize what I got going on up on the shoulder. Ought to let me use my graft all the more often. Think you can install it?
Oh, well, this device is unusual and rather ingenious, if I may say so. Hold still, dear. This should take but a moment. There. I dare say you won't be needing any tune-ups in the near future, but I do trust you'll find an excuse to come by for the occasional visit. Where did you find such a device, anyhow? What is it, dear? You look, well, a bit like you've been stung by a terror ray. I've got ointment for that too, you know.
Or about the lab.
There's a grafting lab way out on Cloister that was still operational. Till recently. I found it, Doc. And... Law. I ain't seen any horrors like that.
Still operating? Inez, do you feel all right? The program was shut down more than 6 months ago. Any further funding would be in direct violation of Auntie's orders.
I know what I saw. They were brutalizing folk and creatures. Paying them no mind, giving them no honor, even if they succumb to the process. The doctor there, he killed a friend of mine. And you're telling me you knew nothing of it?
Inez, I swear I didn't. That sounds... Oh, Sovereign's mercy, that sounds precisely like what I would protest with every breath.
The creatures they were experimenting on broke out of their cages, killed most of the staff. But you know what's worse? Keeping a dead soldier's body on display. Like a thing. I found the doctor in charge, still alive, cowering. I killed him, and let his sick aims die along with him. There's no good that can come of his work. Nothing.
But this ain't the extent of it, I fear. I need to find out who's responsible for all this.
Oh, Inez, I know you do. But with the program officially shuttered, it would be awfully difficult to ascertain which individual has the pockets to fund such a... Wait. Yes, that does shed light on a correspondence I received recently. A vice president sent a message asking for my presence and scientific expertise to discuss a unique opportunity. I found the secrecy odd at the time, but I do suppose it lines up with your discovery.
So he's looking for Rosman's replacement. Interesting.
It's surprising. What's his name? Where can we find him?
His name is Willard Conan, VP of Experimental Operations. The very man who was in charge of the grafting program at its inception. He's... Oh, I know that look. If you mean to do something, I beg you.
Doc, with all due respect, what I do with him when I get there is my own damn business.
It's about justice. Bethel, please.
I will help you. Vice President Conan's office is aboard the Undisputed Claim, the flagship of Auntie's Choice. I do not know where exactly, as I've never been, but it's my understanding that you will need to present this calling card to gain entry. Inez, all I ask is that you remain safe. A terrible wrong has been done, but do not throw your life away to right it. You might seek justice via other means.
I can't promise anything, Doc, but I'll try. Thank you for everything.
I thought we were close to done with this quest, and no, we're not even near. Why is Inez graft allowing the companion ability to hold up to 2 charges at once? Oh, nice. I need to go to a bench if I can find one, because we also did get some upgrades for her. Because we got our first upgrade, which is good. Medical bio barrel. Nez's weapon now deals corrosive damage in addition to slightly increased damage overall. Much quieter, reduced the likelihood that enemies attack her. It also significantly. We're gonna go with the plasma. Grants immunity to corrosive side effects, also slightly increases effectiveness of her armor. Releases a stunning spray from her armor, damaging the when damaged in melee. Temporarily dazing enemies in the area, also increases effectiveness of armor. Oh, what am I doing?
Commander, I've been thinking. Can I bend your ear a moment? We got the intel we need, Commander. The undisputed claims our destination. When we find Willard and stop this law-damned program in its tracks, Auntie's Choice will get what's coming to them. Been doing some thinking about ending the grafting program for good. It's gotta happen. I just didn't think it would start this way.
I'd never heard of it.
With me turning murderer. Auntie had me good and fooled. She ain't any better than Spacer's Choice. Making any of them see reason is an impossibility. Our overlords had a saying in Tau Ceti. If you got a rabid canid, you put it down before it maddens the whole pack. They used to say it about us workers, like we were the problem. It was terrifying. But now I reckon I see some sense in that saying. Retribution never came for the folk at the top back then.
Frontier kind of. Oh,
but
okay.
It certainly
That's pretty
can
neat.
now.
You're worrying me, Inez. I don't want you doing something you'll regret.
What if I think I already have? I wonder if this is what Ortiz had in mind when he sent me that message. He trusted my judgment, knew I always aimed to do right by him and folk everywhere, but he also knew both of us had been lied to when we joined up. The notion that our taking extraordinary risks would pay dividends. Do you think he knew this would be the final straw?
Hey, but what matters is what you do next. Let's go find Willard.
Thanks, Commander. Maybe this is what folk mean by the architects setting things in motion. If I hadn't broken my contract, I wouldn't be here.
This is a creator.
Maybe
What the hell?
proving myself was never the intention. Maybe this is what I was meant to do. Suppose we're fixing to find out.
It's a kind of a funny name.
Commander, I have news. I finally heard back from Virgil. His message was suitably vague. I suspect he fears the Consul's eyes scanning his message, but I believe it to refer to the Arbiter training facility located on Paradise Island.
Why you choose to meet there?
Parts of the location can only be accessed by Arbiters. He likely did so to avoid the Consul's spies. There's a certain hominess to it, inasmuch as we have any particular home. Bringing our findings to Virgil will hopefully allow us to deduce something from all that we found. I only hope it dispels some of the muddiness we've encountered so far. Further complications would be
Only puts us. What
most
the hell?
disagreeable.
It's a weird name. But every time it came back with something similar. That's hilarious. That is freaking hilarious.
Tramicular. Arriving any moment now. Approaching
What nature heedlessly assembled and vastly rebettered it through artificial means. At Auntie's Choice, we strive to be 100% wholly plus artificial.
Can't tell the difference between cover and concealment. You made a good
Unavoidable embedded chemicals with Auntie's Choice.
How the heck do I get up there?
Life is a life that's sweeter. Live a life that's sweeter with Auntie's Choice.
Item. Business is good. We have positive bit flow. Our portfolio is diversified.
But we can always do better. I'll give it to you straight in my quarterly underperformance review. First up, excessive corporate malfeasance. The only division that earns us
Visit Willard's office.
and I promise we will all thrive. There are so many reasons to shop for Auntie's Choice products. We have a wide range.
I just wasn't sure if it was over here or not. That's why I kept going the opposite way.
It's high time one of you scientist types responded to my calling cards. The position's been open for more than 2 days, and already productivity is tanked by 149.4%. You want the role, it's yours, but I'm not budging on those hourly rates.
Let me guess. You're backfilling Rasmussen's position? Or all the scientists who work with him on Cloister lying cold on the lab floor?
Both, obviously. Unless you mean to tell me a graft like yours can install itself. Now, do you want the job or not? We're burning Starlight.
I do. Been waiting on this moment. This grafting program is a law-damned abomination. I went to your lab on Cloister, saw for myself what kind of depravity your folk got up to there. It's sick. My friend was butchered by Rasmussen. And he wasn't the only one. In fact, this program's been a sham from the start. I got tossed aside. And for what? A mistake? Ain't nothing good that's come of this. It's time to call it quits.
What a preposterous notion. Shall we stop producing inhalers because of side effects? Or shut down all food factories because one severed appendage finds its way into packaging? No, certainly not. I am not to blame for whatever inconvenience you experienced as a first edition patient. To quit now would be to toss aside all our progress.
Her experience has been the norm. Face it, the program isn't viable.
Nonsense. I have myriad data at my disposal to dispute such a claim.
Don't matter to me what your plans are, or what you think you might accomplish. You've hurt too many good folk, and I've had enough.
I fear you've gotten too negative an impression of this work. Hear me out, will you? Allow me to assuage those fears.
Out with
Are
it.
you
Then.
a fool? We cannot speak of sensitive business details here. There's no telling which opportunistic colleague or overpaid contractor could be listening in. Meet me in back deck steerage. Take this pass for the tram. And for law's sake, make sure no hanger-on follows you. Especially that assistant of mine next door. Chin up, dear. I believe I'll change your mind yet.
We'll see. Seen this song and dance from all manner of suits before. Reckon he'll try to reel us into a ridiculous scheme or bribe us with bits or booze or what have you. But this'll make it easier for us to intimidate the bastard into stepping down. Ooh, I relish the notion.
Requires item. I don't have the item. Well, if it's like a setup though. Like would if it is. Could very well be a setup.
Trinicular, arriving.
Ah, you came. Foolish, aren't you? Thinking I'd reveal my secrets to the likes of you. Ah, contractors, now's your chance. First one to kill these imbeciles gets a one-time immune assault discount.
Investigating hostile
Not seeing a shot. Just a claw.
I had a feeling it was a setup. It was just so blatantly obvious, you know?
I knew you'd come through, my good Biff. That discount will be applied to your next purchase at the commissary, but cannot be combined with other... Ah! You! You're still alive!
Ain't gonna be that easy to get rid of us, you idiot. This how you treat all folk who approach you in good faith?
No folk have ever made it this far. How did you get past all my contractors? They were heavily trained and heavily expensive.
One last chance will resign, shut your program down for good.
This again? What is it with you? No! I've no incentive to shut down my life's work, especially at the demand of common thugs.
Tell him what these common thugs will do if he doesn't
You
comply.
ever seen a grafted claw strip flesh from the bones of a stubborn old man?
No.
Well, on the count of 3, you will. 1.
All right, fine. Consider this my resignation. Here, take everything I have. Any bits left in my office are yours. Just, please, don't follow me.
Good riddance. But this ain't over yet. The other executives will be notified the moment Willard flees the undisputed claim. And within hours, dozens of rung climbers will be at the tower jockeying for his position. It's all but certain that they'll claim his work for their own, and make his bastardization of a grafting program all the worse if they so choose. Ain't about to let that happen.
What exactly are you
Ain't
suggesting?
suggesting. I'm telling you that we can't stand by and do nothing. It's obvious he was up to his neck in some scheme. If we dig it up and get the word out, his legacy will be in shreds. Maybe folk will be less inclined to follow in his footsteps. Should all but guarantee that Willard can't come crawling out from whatever rock he's keen to hide under, in any case.
Fucking that'll be enough to destroy his legacy.
I don't know. Folk here are a whole lot more callous than I'd anticipated. Look how they treat the contractors, the down and outers. Who's to say that hearing some sob story won't just make them shrug and be thankful they ain't involved?
Let's dig up dirt on Willard.
All right. We ought to start by searching his office. Any evidence we can find regarding money or business dealings could be of value. Once we got what we need, we can head to the recording studio to get the word out. The promise of a scandal should be enough to get in the door.
I just don't like going through the frickin' the subway train thing. Takes a while to get through that.
Tramicular, arriving any moment now. Always remember, commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society... based upon, not because we worship bits, but because of the system's glorious efficacy. While the Protectorate decides what its subjects get.
Keyboard smash random words. Financial records were discreetly delivered to the Corsol Corner today. After looking them over thrice, I can confidently state several truths. This is a well-timed windfall and keep my research progressing uninterrupted many months to come. If I wish to expand operations, it cannot be stifled by corporate oversight. Perhaps my own venture would be wise. WHK Enterprise does carry a dulcet tone. Quite literally pays for one's own financial broker. Doctor, I must say, between Zeranium mishandling and the rampaging of your beast, and the utter pathetic tone that you've addressed me, I am most disappointed in your performance. But fear not, the work you have started will continue and without you. And will be read out in the daily demotions report for all I hear. Best of luck. Scientist Dunkel. First, let me express how pleased I am to finally have a scientist like yourself conducting the research. Turn with your unique talents, advancements, transfusion, and surgical procedures, be swift. You might have noticed peculiarities in your work environment. This is all for your safety and that of research. I would remind you that the documentation you wish for me to see be delivered not to my office, but handed to me in person, with the location previously discussed, with profit in mind. My fellow Vice President, it's been an arduous road, but I believe I found someone to assist you in your research endeavor, Marco Dunko. While she has demonstrated a mildly concerning interest in Viscera and various ways of producing said Viscera, I'm certain I'll overlook it when you see your enthusiasm for the role outweighing her enthusiasm for negotiating her wages. I trust that you won't let the low-cost labor opportunity pass you by. Properly yours, Ursula. P.S. Should our hiring be confirmed, I would suggest having a workroom locked to the exterior and a guard posted at the door. You wouldn't want stumbling into your office next door on accident.
You cannot be here. My contract stipulates that this lab door remains locked at all times. I am not to be disturbed. That's funny, considering the heaps of times I've been called such.
I'm here to tell you that your treacherous fiend of a boss is now out of commission, and I'm investigating all of his indiscretions. You wouldn't happen to know about any unsanctioned business dealings, would you?
Ah, I'm afraid I can't help with that. I've only spoken with him once, upon my hiring.
About where he keeps his files. Surely you had some way to communicate with him.
Well, yes, but not here or face to face. I was to have all communications sent to a private room at the Best Choice. He held all his business dealings and records therein. I gather he was circumventing intellectual property taxes or some such.
The Best Choice. That's the lounge for VIPs, looking out over the Esplanade, if I'm remembering right. We might pay it a visit. Oh, law. That room is what he meant by the carousal corner in that terminal entry, isn't it?
Just hope those files are relatively undisturbed.
If that's all, I'll thank you kindly for closing the door when you leave.
Oops. Wait. Surprised she didn't see us steal that. Kleptomania. You just have to have it. Doesn't matter what it is, but if it isn't yours, you want it. You occasionally steal things automatically, but anything you've stolen sells for significantly more. Where this flaw significantly changes experience while in settlements, not advised for players looking for a relaxing experience in towns. Plus 100% vendor buying price for stolen items. No, I'm not quite the klepto in this game, so at least in this playthrough. I'm not gonna just steal things all willy-nilly. I thought I could take it, but clearly I wasn't supposed to. I feel like you can get in some deep shit by doing that stuff, though. I feel like that would be perfect for like a stealth build. You know, the kleptomaniac. But if you have like really high sneak, I think you could easily be fine with that.
Not to mention the concession sales. Invasive marketing huffed it out of the arena with their official
We've got your punch right here.
Hungry or fuck knows. 9.
Yeah, this is about what I expected.
Plus 1 gadget energy meter max. Nice. Brief look into the long-running report shows a clear pattern. Willard has been siphoning money directly from Auntie's seemingly dormant aesthetics fund and redirecting the WHK Enterprise a clear front of his own account. Back in the elevator, you had a drop. What do you mean I had a drop? Earlier. Oh, I have no idea.
Right back at you. I'm Auntie Cleo.
I didn't notice it, to be honest.
Yes, I understand I may look in charge, but I'm just minding the desk for our esteemed director, The real talent, as they say.
I need to get a message on the broadcast, urgently. Can you help with that?
Not unless you need any clever pointers on enunciation. Our director, however, is in one of the recording booths. Through the door to your left. You'll want to speak with her.
Okay.
Welcome to Wireless Free Arcadia Studios. Thessaly Falk, Director of Talent Placation and General Runnings. Here to contract a recording or in the market for autographs?
Holt sent me to speak with you. I got a message I'd like to send out over the wireless. Trust me, this is one all the folk in Auntie's Choice won't want to miss.
Is that so? Well, the more riveting the content, the larger our commissions. However, as you're without an appointment and I'm quite busy, I'm afraid I've only time to record one take. Do make it count. Shall we begin?
Eagle Eye. I got frame gen enabled, but I think what you guys see is like normal frame rate, so that's probably why you're seeing like the whole like dips probably easier. The sooner we get the word out, the better.
Glad we're in agreement. I'm here to expose the truth about a prominent vice president. His business dealings are not what they seem.
What hairstyle is that?
Claim.
I don't know.
Now remember to speak
Very
into
odd
the mic,
hairstyle
dear.
for sure.
Enunciate clearly but with feeling.
A-style.
Inhabit the words. Be the message. Joining us today in the studio is a very special guest and rare specimen indeed, a grafted soldier. And one who alleges that one of Auntie's own vice presidents is not who he seems. Take it away.
Inez Seelong speaking. I got intel on an illegal program led by Vice President of Experimental Operations, Willard Conan. Folk aplenty suffered because of it.
Some say there cannot be success without suffering. It's more or less standard operating procedure, isn't it? Unless you're leaving out any gory details.
The scientist experiment on dead soldiers. It's went through great lengths to keep his business practices secret.
He was running a lab on Cloister that very few even knew of, and grafted even more folk
Crying is
illegally in
desynced.
that butcher shop. But if
Yes.
that ain't incriminating enough for you, Willard had himself some money problems, which ain't too distant from a grave sin far as Auntie's concerned.
Ah, now we're getting somewhere. Tell me, did he squander all his bits on drink? Bet it all on a tarmac and cheese rebranding? Or worse? Thoroughly recount every lurid detail?
The proof that he funneled money from Auntie's to his own business, WHK Enterprises.
He stole from Auntie directly. I have here, in his own words, an admission to the crime. It's go-getterness gone too far. And you know what happens to one of Auntie's nephews who misbehaves?
Splendiferous! Couldn't hardly get more sensational than that if we tried. The audience will be on the edge of their seat hearing all the ghastly minutiae about this scandal.
Nazia.
I think we did it. Won't know for sure until the broadcast airs, of course, but law, I reckon I might finally be able to put this to rest. For Ortiz. For everyone. Thank you, Commander.
Oh, Inez, almost forgot. We have a bit of a goodie bag for special guests who visit the studio. You qualify. Do collect it from the front desk on your way out.
Huh, picked up Inez's advanced mod kit.
If you mean to ally with the Order, reckon I can't blame you. You and I could only exert so much influence over Auntie's Choice. And it's obvious they can't help themselves. More importantly, it's becoming clear to me that folk don't actually want us here. Westport resisted as long as they could. You think that doesn't extend to the rest of the populace? There is another option. The Order. They're trying to do right by the refugees, after all, and seem reasonable when they ain't being strong-armed by extremists. You could consider them.
Want both factions to work together. It'd be better for everyone if Auntie's not in control.
Transition of power will be smoother anyway, if this war's anything to go by. I'm glad you're considering it.
Listen, normally I'd take issue with one person playing Kingmaker. That is to say, you, and especially the Earth Directorate. But time's too short, and the stakes are too high for tribalism. There'll be enough time for that later. For now, we need to ally with someone who can defeat the Protectorate and close the rifts. So whatever you decide, I'll support you. We should move on, unless you've got something for me?
To be handed down for a lot of speed to each successive
It just occurred to me, does that link still work properly? Oh, yeah, it still works. I was just curious.
Have time for a chat, Commander? Commander, you hear my interview over the wireless too? They've been playing it every hour. Part of it, anyway. Seems all the evidence we brought Thessaly made an impression. Other VPs are fearing for their jobs now. Can you imagine? Reckon nobody will touch Willard's work now.
So is it safe to say the graduate program will stay shuttered for good?
Definitely. I'd bet a post-mortem on Willard's activities is being drafted as we speak. Few are keen to repeat the same mistakes as someone trotted out as a cautionary tale. If I ain't said it recently, then let me say it again. Thank you. I don't think I could have done right by Ortiz all on my own. Nobody has to be hurt like he was again.
Now that this is done, what will you do?
Reckon I'll find a way to look after the other grafted soldiers out there. It's what Ortiz would have wanted, and what he deserved. But all that'll come after we save Arcadia. You know, it's hard to fathom that just months ago I spent so much law-damn time begging to be accepted, like I was worth only what other folk thought of me. I was so lost. I really believed when I ended my contract that a better life was possible. I know the truth about Auntie's choice now, and I know who I am. So yeah, a better life is possible, just not at someone else's mercy. I ain't gonna let myself or anyone else be led into the same trap they set for us, ever again.
Worth far more than Auntie ever knew. Remember that.
I will, Commander. Anyhow, that's enough sorting my thoughts for the moment. We got a galaxy to save.
Okay. As kills a human creature, a medicine pack drops near the target. Walking over this pack automatically uses it, reducing toxicity buildup and crash duration. Medicine packs break apart when they're after moderate duration. This weapon also increased damage. Automatically reloads, allowing her to continuously fire. It's also significantly increased damage. I like the medical pack dispenser one better. Combat drug auto injectors now also grant her temporary damage resist and also increases the effectiveness of her armor. As combat drug auto injectors now also grant as temporary bonus damage. Also, we just got Tristan and Marsol. We're actually making really good timing on getting stuff done, though. Back to Eden again. We're pretty much at the point where we're just completing our companion quest lines at this point. We do have a lot of other side stuff that we need to get to, though, as well. We've already been here, though.
Virgil's not about it. He's like to be in the training grounds depths. There's a lift that will take us lower, located behind the door next to those stairs.
Except I don't think we actually went in this part, though. I think this part's new.
Tristan! You see a friendly face. Do come up.
Virgil! Oh, thank the architect I found you intact. We visited the Supreme Arbiter's office in Central Control and found something impossible.
Impossible? Why is it impossible? So that you may claim ignorance as to the truth of what you've uncovered?
Now about the evidence we found, I was hoping you could set him straight.
Fine. If you're still so thick-skulled, Tristan, then I can see I've no choice but to confess. Hold. Do you hear movement?
Attention, Arbiter Virgil Montag. Under the jurisdiction of the Council, we stand to bring you low. Do not resist.
Damnation! I knew the Sentinels were looking for me, but I did not expect they would come to this place. We have no choice but to fight. I can operate our turrets from this location, but you must engage the Sentinels head-on to prevent our being overwhelmed. Go now!
Arbiter Montag, lay down your arms. Surrender and die.
Still recharging. Stun weapon ready, Commander.
Those fools were but an expeditionary force. I've no doubt the bulk of their number remains on the surface. I shall take an alternate path to prepare a surprise for our would-be assailants. Then I shall flank them as you engage them.
Hold! You were beginning to say something before we were ambushed. I would care to hear it.
We cannot have this conversation until we are safe. Engage those on the surface and I shall join you. Go now.
Target analyzed. Consider self-preservation a priority. Combatant scan.
Loading anew.
Prepare for absolution! Beg your patience. I'm not ready.
Damn, these companion quests are literally leveling us up super freaking fast. Like, I do have waypoints seen around here. Oh, there he is. I guess I just didn't see him.
Virgil, enough! Our being at odds with the Consul is one thing, but that was a small army! What have you done?
You already know whether you're willing to admit it or not. Do you sincerely have a need for me to spell it out before you'll face the truth? Very well then. Tristan, you stand before the murderer of the Supreme Arbiter.
I don't believe this. The Consul must have captured you and sent you to mental refreshment. It's the only...
Open your eyes, Rao. Those Sentinels were here with due cause. The elimination of a murderer. The Supreme Arbiter was planning to send a message in her final moments, pledging allegiance to the Consul. Who do you think bore witness to those final moments?
Got her pledging her support of the council, so you excuse her.
I did what I thought was just.
No. You lied to me?
I had to. I knew that if you learned what had transpired, why I did what I did, it would destroy you.
Would it? Or were you just trying to save yourself from my wrath?
One chance to explain what happened and why you did what you did.
With the demands this war has made on us all, I'd not seen our mentor for some time. My visit was meant to be a surprise. Unfortunately, it was. I overheard her decision to align herself with the Consul before she realized I was there. This admission, I had no choice but to act.
But there was a choice. Why didn't you come to me? Together we could have come up with something. Some other course of action.
Because I didn't want you to know. I never wanted you to learn the truth because I feared you'd lose your faith.
Trying to keep Tristan off the trail, did you know about the Oculus collating post?
No. Sentinel Peralt's remarks were the first I'd heard of any secret room. I feared what you might learn there, so I scrambled to find an agent who might locate the room before you. I only had one contact who I knew may be able to do the job. Obviously, he did not succeed. I was pleased to learn that my decision did not result in his death, at the very least.
About the junior arbiter who tried to judge Tristan at central control.
That is news to me. A junior arbiter judging Tristan. I can't imagine you let that stand.
Killing one of Arcadia's future arbiters over a singular breach of rank would have been most tragic, but this is not the matter we're here to discuss.
Seems like it would be tough to stay loyal after having to kill your mentor, Virgil.
How dare you! I would have rather done anything else. But the explicit reason that I had to act was out of my loyalty. The Supreme Arbiter did more than mentor us. She all but raised us as her own. There was not a step we took that she did not watch. A fact we know that she did not teach. And I killed her. As a traitor.
Sound resolute. You sound guilty.
Damn you. Damn you 1,000 times. How can I not bear remorse for the slaying of one I considered my own kin? No matter what I do, I find myself reliving that moment whenever I close my eyes. Her sin was unforgivable to the Protectorate, but I...
Wish you hadn't done it.
No. The situation was a nightmare. Any action would have been the wrong one. I only wonder if the path I took was worth it.
I cannot believe what I am hearing. You know that I have to judge you. There's no other choice available to me.
Calm down. We need to think rationally about our next course of action.
You're right. I can't let emotion get the better of me. This is not the first time we've encountered the paradoxical nature of Protectorate law. Each time we did, you convinced me to stay my hand, and I do not regret those I spared. Our prior conclusions inform my present feelings. I theoretically understand what Virgil did, for there was no proper decision he could make. But I cannot view this objectively. Virgil killed our mentor. It's madness. I cannot simply let that stand. Can I?
Alternative is to execute, and doing so would bring your wouldn't bring your mentor back.
You mistake my aim for one of vengeance. I still care deeply for Virgil. I do not blame him. But I must do what is just.
Things have you done in the last week that turned out to be just? Let me ask you this: what would you have done in Virgil's shoes?
I don't know. He was right when he said the Consul would simply manipulate High Command. But the law is clear on this. It is explicitly illegal for an inferior to execute their superior. The issue must be accelerated to a higher authority. But is addressing traitorism not the utmost priority of any arbiter? Is not the betrayal of everything we stand for more significant than a breach of protocol?
Is there anything else we could have done? Any alternative?
No. And even if there was, maybe this was right. We must think for ourselves if Arcadia is to survive. I cannot bring myself to execute my sworn brother.
That's on others is a weakness others can exploit. Keep that in
I
mind.
fear it may be too late for that. I have made my decision, and I shall stand by it. No matter how torn I may be. I know not what to make of the Supreme Arbiter's betrayal. I'll have to ruminate on it for some time. But that aside, I forgive you, Virgil. You are spared.
Wise choice. You'll sleep better tonight, I swear. And every other, forevermore.
Would that I could forgive myself. I shall have to live with what I have done in the name of the Protectorate.
Could have been you, Tristan.
Virgil, you should take comfort in doing what was right. The Supreme Arbiter was a traitor. I believe her execution was just. And you should as well.
Just in the eyes of the Protectorate. But we've forever lost our mentor, our friend. And, I might add, if the Protectorate had its way, you or I would presently lie dead as well. How can I see the morality in a system that demands brothers, guardians, friends kill one another in its name?
How can you, Tristan?
Stop! This is already near too much to accept. I refuse to be browbeaten on top of everything else. Allow me to reach my own conclusions.
1,000 words of thanks for meeting me here, Tristan. I know not what the future holds for us, but for the time being I must make myself scarce. Though, before I go, a parting gift. May Tristan make use of it better than I.
Go with the Sovereign's blessing, brother. And be careful. If you survive today only to be brought low by an agent of the Consul at a later point, I shall be most annoyed. Commander, this has all been draining. I need time to process what we've learned today. What I've done. Later, I hope we might discuss it.
Yeah, we did get a level up. I feel like I definitely am going to need speech for what's coming up in a little bit. for moderate duration after swapping weapons plus 20 damage. Down immediately, gain temporary health equal to 50% max health. Gain 50% max health as temporary health. Yeah, I know, decisions. We literally have 2 perks to choose from. Then after that, we're done. There's no more perks to choose. And we're pretty much capped out at 30 at that point. Damn it. With modded weapons, increase 1% per engineering points. I think I'll go with that one. I still need to find a mod for this weapon though. A bajillion of perks, like in oh hell yeah. There's so many perks, but a lot of them are build focused, you know, in this game. Though that's the thing. Well, you got an upgrade. Gauntlet gains a flamethrower attachment, causing continuous plasma damage around him, and also has significant increased damage. Like that one. Grants bonus damage based on Tristan's armor value, also increases the effectiveness of his armor. The designers of this modification initially wrote a joke here about powered armor, but decided they didn't want to deal with the fallout. Are you serious? Are you serious? The description on that. They didn't want to deal with the fallout. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love when there's like little references like that. Call it powder armor. Grants immunity to all AoE damage. Also greatly increases the effectiveness of his armor. Now we're getting that, the bonus of energy. That just sounds too awesome. See more references like Warhammer, yeah. Hey, let's talk to Tristan real quick. I actually forgot to talk to him.
Commander, I've had some time to process what transpired with Virgil. Despite the manner of what Virgil has done, I cannot help but be glad I did not need to slay him. I can only hope he does not run afoul of further Sentinels. I still have much doubt about my path, but I don't believe Protectorate law is as ironclad as I once thought.
Why not?
Having good intentions does not spare you. Doing what you think is right does not spare you. This cannot be justice. Yet what can I do? More than 100 years of Protectorate society cannot be changed by a lone body. Can it?
Person can't be expected to change everything, but trying is better than not.
But how? I see. I must follow my own path, my own sense of right and wrong. I can only hope it has been cultivated properly. I shall remain with the Protectorate, interpreting its laws through a moral instead of a punitive lens. Innocent until proven guilty is a novel concept, but it is worth a try.
How do you feel about all
A
this?
drunken, disorderly subject once struck my faceplate with an electrical pitchball stick, resulting in a concussion. My head pounds worse now, but my heart feels lighter. When we began traveling together, I was not sure what to make of you. But your input throughout our time together has been invaluable. I deeply appreciate your hand in this investigation, Commander, and in entertaining my incertitude. Let us move forth to free Arcadia from injustice.
We got one more, well, not one more. We still got her quest line to do because I don't think we've gotten that far in hers actually. But yeah, we still got one more quest line, companion quest line, and we will pretty much have all the companion quests done. I guess we're gonna go back to Dorado. These companion quests though, they give a crap ton of XP. It's like, I'm sure when we finish hers, we'll probably level up to 29 at this rate. Oh yeah, you can't fast travel while jumping. What in the hell? Weird ass lighting fuckery going on. Armor? Holy crap, how much armor does mine do? Mine's 22 as well. Always remember to engage their foes with the left. Okay. And that is a lot less negative than this, but this has the hover, the whole hover thing that you can use, you know, which is kind of nice to have.
I'm going to lend a hand at the exclusion zone. Tend to the injured as best I can.
I thought Doc Beardsley had all the help he needs.
One never relishes saying we did predict a catastrophe could occur.
Yeah, we are actually going to take a break before we go do this part. Yeah, let's see what else we can get done tonight. Going back up to the monastery again. It's been a minute since we've been here.
I didn't expect us to wander into the scene of a murder, but somehow I'm not entirely surprised. Anomalous events have a way of spreading, multiplying. We should find a way inside. There might be clues to what happened, and where Anais's research is now.
Or two authorities in there earlier. I only see one body.
They should have been sealed in that room to focus on their studies uninterrupted. No one in or out. I'd suspect the missing anchorite knows something at least. We should ask her. Might be some signs in there of where she went. The terminal at Winter's Grasp said Anais' work was sent here. There might be signs of that, or where the missing anchorite got off to.
And clearly they went through this little spot right there. So they legit have beds in here too? Look past hundreds of dense entries full of calculations and notes of arguments Chow was apparently working up for future debates, or finding something relevant to your investigation. Later, entries mention regular visits to the exemplar Southworth, who claimed evidence of innovational means shortcut the solving of the universal equation. After nothing for the method's high unorthodox nature, Chow wrote that she found herself shut out for further discussions, leading to routine scenes of tense awkwardness, and Southward dropped in and marked shift in runs with beliefs. Final entries, Chow appeared worried that the two were conspiring about something noted. Hush references of Old Order research station near Paradise Island and point observation. She began to believe that Brun intended to abandoning the monastery Archibald to travel there. Chow wrote that when she confronted her cellmate about her suspicions, Andrews Byrne responded with the idea of leaving Archibald was not one she considered lightly, which Chow contended with it consider it all proved the lightness of consideration. In the nearby margins, a +1 point me is scrawled. Her final entry ends in a note of deep concern, writing, I can foresee that whatever the two have planned may soon occur. It may serve me right for putting theory into applications the other day. A series of manifesto-like musings from Anabor's Brun have been pinned to the chalkboard. Most of the comments rail against the current order regime, while others extol the virtues of the Department of Preemptive Casual Redirection. One passage towards the end stands out in particular. The universal equation should be our primary concern. All else distraction force needless prolonging of suffering.
We should keep looking.
Blunt force trauma to the head, puddle of blood nearby.
I've had a chance to look around. You seem like you've done a thorough sweep. We should discuss what we've uncovered.
You see what was posted looked like some kind of super dense logic puzzle
A
manifesto.
disputation of current order methodology focuses mainly on our presiding bishop, but saves ample room for the Laureate Council and previous regime as well. I believe I got the gist by efficiently skimming. The general concern is that the Order has lost its way. My old department is repeatedly mentioned in a favorable light. Anais' work is regarded highly.
I don't know if the data pad had a reference to research at Winter's Grass. I've identified the body as Angelus
Poor
Chow.
thing. Blunt force trauma to the occipital lobe, I believe. Possible signs of an altercation. Might have been an accident. Might not have been. Hard to say with just a superficial glance. At the very least, her cloister mate Anchoress Brunn has some explaining to do.
This data pad had a reference to the research at Winter's
I
Grass.
saw that. I believe it was Anchoress Chow's diary. Spoke about regular visits by an exemplar Southworth, who requested access to Anais' work. Chow seemed worried they were conspiring about something. That they'd mentioned an old Order research station.
Any idea where Choris Brunn went?
That old research facility seems the most likely spot to look next. I know the coordinates on Eden. Place by the name of Point Obviation.
What else did you glean from this?
I don't know what happened to Anchoress Chow, but leaving a body behind is suspicious. And the disputation reads like a call to arms for any fringe thinkers in the Order. There's no destroying the copies at this point, I'm afraid. We're past that. The research is out there. We need a way to keep anyone from taking it up further in the future. If we go in guns blazing from here, it will only continue. We need a plan to annihilate the idea.
How are you so sure it'll continue?
I've seen it happen. Things can take on a life of their own at a certain point. The more overt the response, the more unexpected the outcomes. We developed tactics at the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection to minimize unforeseeable consequences. We can discuss once we see the situation on the ground.
Back to the ship then.
Yes. Time to seek out Anchoress Brunn.
They literally have a crapper, 2 beds, just no food in here. Well, how do they get their food? I'm assuming somebody just brings them food? I don't know. Do that little drop box, I guess. Now we get to find our way back out of this place. Oh joy. I always like this interior. I kind of get a little confused in because it was kind of like all over the place when we first went into it. But since I kind of vaguely remembered how we got in there, it wasn't so bad. Back to incognito. How's this? Oh wait, okay, so this is actually a different area that's part of the same place. Part of the same planet. Okay, this is the first time I've actually had that happen. Same planet, just a different section of the planet. And that's the first time that's happened in this Outer Worlds, because Outer Worlds 1 did it quite a bit actually, believe it or not.
Your methods are unconventional, Outlier, but you get verifiable results.
So you know, like those little magazine things I was collecting, at least in the first part of this world, you know, and stuff.
Keep
effectuating what you're actualizing.
I'm wondering if I can find any laying around here, you know? Antorus Brunn, you don't know me very well. For the lack of clearance to enter your tower, I just humble landing pad technician. I want you to express my seldom appreciation for your good work. Whatever it is, they don't tell me much, but I overheard a guard saying the universal equation will be solved in any day now. Why you sound like so positive that I can only assume the results of your work will be put in ethical use. There's no one will agree to hand deliver this data pad. I need to get back to exercising my throwing arm. What the fuck? So the guy's plan was to just to try to throw it up there somehow. Okay. I guess that's one way to do it, but damn. That's some determination.
Just want you to know your efforts are seen and appreciated.
Halt! Bye-bye. Cease any and all manner of perambulation.
Perambulation? What the fuck does that mean?
Don't know who you all are, but unexpected guests are categorically unwelcome here. How'd you even find this place? Maybe I should just shoot you and glean details from your logs.
Ah, Exemplar, if I may. Surely you recognize such a notable member of our cohort, Marisol Delgado. The Endpoint?
I can't recall if I ended whoever came up with that name. Surely hope so.
You were head causality intercessor of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection, right up till the end, correct?
More or less.
Well, what a fortuitous alignment of low probability events this is. Our efforts here are based on your former department. You should confer with Anchorus Brunn straight away.
Maybe call off your guard dog first.
Apologies. One can never be too careful while launching important undertakings. We actually sought to find you and others of your program, Intercessor Delgado. A serendipitous event, you arriving. Nonetheless, I'd ask you to follow certain precautions. Will you heed all requests and vouchsafe for your colleagues here? Them being unknown to us and all.
We'll mind our manners, Exemplar. I'll see to it.
Then, you may all proceed. You'll find Wilhelmina up the lift, 4th floor.
Welcome to Point Obviation. Welcome to Point
Anchorus Brunn is up the
Obviation.
lift.
If it isn't my new favorite operator.
Pretty much a water in the middle of the frickin' ocean, I guess, in a sense, is that where we're at, pretty much.
Anchorus Brunn is continuing Anais' research from Winter's Grass. I'm sure of it. Best play along for now, until we can ascertain the best course of action.
She's got the right of it. There's far too many guards for us to take on alone.
Law, is that Marisol?
The Endpoint herself. I thought she was a myth.
Let's be on our best behavior. Don't even breathe.
Don't even breathe.
This experiment seems a mite controversial, dangerous even, both in a physical and mathematical sense.
Your job is intimidation, not risk assessment. The Anchoress knows what she's doing.
Of course. Forgive me. I will look to math as a source of comfort rather than anxiety. Nothing to see here.
I'll write my next dissertation in your honor.
The Order recognizes your contributions. You are truly summa cum laude among laypeople.
You may have noticed higher than average number of guards at Point of Obliviation. I almost want to say Oblivion, but it says Obliviation. Without going into detail, research is approaching a critical phase. The Antra's work must continue uninterrupted. The future of Arcadia depends on it. Should anyone storm the tower in hostile intent, shoot or to kill. Exemplar Grace Southworth. I don't plan on murdering anybody here, I mean. Not yet.
You're doing the architect's work.
Look, everyone! It's the endpoint. Come to join us, I take it.
I do have a unique interest in what you all are doing here.
You've been a real factor in our success.
Lovely day for differential geometry. Have an intellectually stimulating day.
Hello, layperson.
Hello, layperson.
Layperson, what the heck?
No, hello. Cogitate here often?
Remarkably effective for someone so ignorant of abstract calculus.
I am a long-time vocal exponent of your work, Intercessor Delgado. I hope you don't mind me saying. Go on up. You're expected.
There's like 2 other floors you could potentially go to.
Quite unusual, ain't it? How the Order treats their most respected mathematicians like Auntie treats her internees.
Before her death, Antra's Redacted launched a makeshift satellite into orbit using spare parts. She assured the Order that the knowledge of the stars would aid her in contemplations of the universal equation. All she did was broadcast an emergency distress signal. The only remaining piece of her satellite is on display for 2 purposes. 1, as a reminder of every extra it serves to roll voluntarily, and 2, as an assurance that help is neither needed nor on its way. Environmental changes can influence one's understanding of the universal equation. Temperature, humidity, wind speed are all contributing factors. By closely observing weather conditions, an Anchorite can forecast an optimal day for math. While ordinary telescope is outclassed by deep space observation satellites, they are an accessible way Anchorites can contemplate the vastness of interstellar space with their space talon therein. Many Many seers and architects focus devices to keep their attention trained on challenging equations. The device itself has no direct function, and most are cobbled together with spare parts. Their tactical nature calms the mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Orb of Pondering. Octoroth uses devices to ponder one of life's many existential questions. What is a cosmos but a series of interconnected orbs? When the enormity of their calculations become too much to bear, the simplicity of the universe helps an overworked Anchorite to center their mind and ponder in tranquility. Bell of orbital redirection. Scientists once theorized that the sound waves could steer the trajectory of a planetary orbit. This theory was never tested in earnest, but several prototypes of orbital bells were fashioned at 1/1 billionth scale. Their study was abandoned since the working model would exhaust a resource of a planet and prove nothing more than its own irrelevance. Orb of Greater Pondering. See Orb Pondering exhibit just to the left. This orb is larger, therefore more expensive. Please do not touch. Ponder from a safe distance.
Yeah.
Trials and Tribulations. Our research station 99139 is better known as shorthand appellation Point Aviation. Yet, in a world ruled by logic and reason, it would be celebrated as the most consequential order facility this side of our archive. Here, my Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection conducts world-shattering trials, feasibly volatile atomical electrodynamics research, harnessing four fundamental forces to accelerate solving humanity's greatest mathematical problem. Instead of celebration of our efforts, we face constant tribulations until point observation was shared long ago. Ignorant colleagues persisted the trials were dangerously flawed, the firmament was failing, they claimed. The end of the worlds was nigh. How pedestrian and paradoxical. Had I allowed that to continue, we would have achieved ascension. Our ignorance has delayed our collective bliss. Cosmos in a bottle. Test Chamber Alpha is where the mathematical magic happens. Site of the boldest research in the history of feasible volatile atomical electrodynamics, nay, in the field of scientism. Here we work towards simulating entirety of everything in a chamber no larger than your average habitation module. Our Cosmos in a bottle trials were always going to be safe, Anchorite supervised, with control experiments conducted just one level down the test chamber beta. This is reckless science. Yeah, we were shuttered, the aging equipment spread around, are told like some museum of obsolete apparatuses. Perhaps I'll create informational plaques for them as punchline for a cruel joke. After more than 20 years of inactivity, Test Chamber Alpha was refurbished and ready for the recommencement of our daring experiments. A shortcut to solving the universal equation is within reach. Allow me to reiterate, these are not allegedly dangerous trials of yore. The test chamber has been remodeled in new Archer's Brunn, who has exemplar oversight of the all-new trials. How heartening to see a new group breathe academical life into the old research. Accuracy is their primary concern, followed by safety personnel. Meanwhile, I've taken this opportunity to recalculate the experimental risk, filling in any corners cut by the initial round of research. Best to settle your affairs and feed your domesticated animal companions now, colleagues. Soon enough, we shall achieve ascension.
Oh, who's this? Oh, yes, I remember you. We met earlier at the site of my former seclusion.
I've heard much of your exploits since. If I recall correctly, you helped prove Anchorus Chow's argument that violence is sometimes necessary. I admit I have modified my stance toward that more recently. I understand you allowed Seer Wily to go free, yes? Once was a time I would have made that exact same decision. And as for you, I've been informed that you're Marisol Delgado. I've read your file. An impressive body of work, though often quite mortiferously inclined.
Less so over time. There were too many pesky repercussions, I came to find.
Yes, well, to what do we owe the pleasure? Are you familiar with our goals? Come to join up, perhaps, or should I say re-enlist?
After finding Anchorus Chow's body and the manifesto posted nearby.
It was more of a disputation as a scholarly objection than a manifesto per se, but why quibble? Anchorus Chow is very much against it. Her accident was quite tragic. You saw the disputation, though. Tell me, what did you think? You read it, yes?
Bit over my head, honestly. Can you translate for layperson?
Surely you're aware of the myriad errors of our current presiding bishop and previous regime. One of whom shut down the division that operated here, the other squandered it. Our sect aims to end human suffering, sooner than later. We've taken great inspiration from your former department, from their methods and their science. To solve the universal equation in our lifetime requires bold action, clever calculation, and assiduous work.
How'd you end up here from Monastery? Exemplar Southworth was involved, yes?
Yes, we have Grace, that is, Exemplar Southworth, to thank for that. Her visits to the Anchorhold were quite thought-provoking, as was the research she showed me from Sia Bujold. Bujold's thinking was unconventional, ahead of her time. Why, in fact, she's here with us now today, overseeing an experiment that proves her researcher's theories.
Really? Seer Bujold is here, at present, in this facility? The one we're presently standing in?
Professor Drew says she hasn't been in a proper lab for decades.
Tut, a mind like that is never out of practice. And the experiment she's overseeing, why, she's orchestrating it masterfully. The intent is to represent the building blocks of the universe within a test chamber, then extrapolate data revealing the universal equation from the micro-universe that forms.
Sounds like it could change everything, one might say.
Why, you should go see for yourself. As former colleagues, I'm sure you'd like to reacquaint. Go on. I'll call down to let her know you're coming.
She's just downstairs?
Yes, she's monitoring the experiment. I'll have elevator access unlocked so you can join her. Do please stay in the observation area, though. The work is quite delicate. We'll speak further after you check over Sia Bujold's work and the experiment concludes. Oh, so exciting.
How much longer do you predict preparations will take?
Almost ready. Perfect timing for my former colleague to peer review my work. I'll press them to verify my settings. Thereupon, we will begin.
Splendid. While others pontificate, we act. I await word of our success with bated breath.
Head Intercessor Delgado, what an opportune time for you to appear. At the perfect moment to assist our experiment.
What in the endless void are you?
Shh. Comms off, but others are near. I need your aid before this ridiculous affair careens into disaster. Can I rely on you this time? Or will you already intend on scurrying away again?
What are you even doing here?
I came to derail this line of inquiry in such a discommodious way that no one would ever consider trying it again. For all the aforementioned reasons of it likely causing, or at least queuing up and leading to, the end of all things. You chose to leave me behind, again. So when they came calling, I thought it an opportunity to sort it all myself. Yet, admittedly, at this moment, I could use your assistance.
This shouldn't be your burden. It's on me.
You don't get to decide that, or adjudicate, or coolly comment in a steely growl. Not falling for that a 10th time. Help, or stay out of my way.
Let's move on.
The test involves 4 stations. Each represents one of the fundamental building blocks of the universe. Zeranium gas, macro-ivs, nucleons, N-rays. All the usual stuff. That test chamber is where all are meant to mix. To simulate a mini-universe I can apply my theories to, pull data from, and deduce the universal equation in a reduced time frame. We know what happens if that's successful. So I need you to muck with each station's settings, then initiate the experiment.
What exactly does muck with entail?
All you need to do is adjust each station's settings slightly. Things will cascade from there. Remember, subtlety is required.
Yes, if we alter the experiment input data in a less than delicate fashion, Brunn will notice, I assure you.
The guards on the 2nd floor won't appreciate visitors, so avoid getting spotted. Here's a maintenance key. Head down the vent.
Good experiment mucked with.
It's only the fate of the galaxy riding on it, so perhaps try to be careful.
I'm no tenured archivist, but that sounds dangerously unstable. Oh well.
Repeatedly stated in an inordinately tricky manner to set all components of the test with the correct manner to simulate the functional micro-universe. Even with the slightest error could we undermine the vitality of important efforts here. For seemingly infinite time, Maxim's random flow is absolutely required for the highest probability of experimental success. If the flow is less than 500 gallons per minute, this results entirely skewed. Your science. Still setting 200p and do not alter. Not alter. mix ingredients together. Samples are best you can.
False positive noted.
Paris Palette. This can be used by Altivator sample from those into the experiment test chamber. A pre-configured sample is in hand, ready to be sent in an appointed time. Its Euclidean levels have already been precisely configured to coax simulated life in a Ferdinand soup of micro-universe. Do not, under any circumstances, combine it with an unconfigured sample or send an unconfigured sample in this place. For lack of training, both would be obvious, but especially if you simply send an unconfigured sample, your science. Yes, I am unaccustomed to having a particularized such a degree of panic detail with the misinterpretations on your part to be conceived to me as required.
Anyone else hear that? No? Oh, just me then. I see.
Aggressors in range.
Panel connects to the macrowave. Do not attempt to rewire the system and alter the wattage of this device. I promise you will find ways to put your engineering skills to use in further future experiments. Your science nerd. Okay. Now free. It is almost impossible to create a specific electrochemical reaction necessary to stimulate the wide array of elements needed to populate the micro-universe. An exquisitely well-calibrated agglomerate of metallurgical elements can be have been placed perfectly inside the microwave in preparation for the experiment. Just leave it alone, please. Your science terror. Okay. The weird-looking rock. Starting you changes here have been some effect on the experiment's results.
If you're done, evaluating my work and all settings are final, enter the terminal command to void the oxygen from the test chamber. The experiment will then begin.
Big picture. Feasibly volatile atomic electromagnetic research is a controversial field. Many of tenured colleagues have dismissed it as scientism, yet they simply lack the cognitive capacity to understand its underlying principles. We focus on the smallest of small things, the fundamental building blocks of the universe, to weed out anomalous variables and extrapolate only necessary inputs of solving the universal equation. In layperson's terms, we create big picture from small one, in hopes of accelerating our academical voyage to ascension. If only others in the order also saw the big picture. Calculated risk. It is a question I have often pondered. If Sierra Budgel's feasibly volatile atomical electrodynamics research was so promising, why was her facility shuttered more than 2 decades ago? My colleagues at the time resisted with her experiments fundamentally flawed, chaotic, and even calamitous. Claimed that the study of fundamental forces would produce inconsistencies of garbage data. Tellus slosh, they called it, using layperson terminology to twist their figurative dagger in their life's work. Some feared such tampering would atomical electrodynamics Might even cause catastrophic cascade and potentially override Jones' universe and all life in it. Impossible. Well, improbable. Let's call it extremely unlikely, but the scientism is not calculated risk. Back to work. Scientism marches on. After more than 20 years in mothballs and Department of Preempted Casual Redirection reopened for business, Sierra holds feasibly volatile atomical electrodynamics research is back on track with my exclusive reclusive attention. Trial preparations is in process. Point obviation is intoxicating new equipment smell, while Bejeweled's original and apparatus are displayed and trolled as a monument of her life's work. We're ready to boldest experiment of all. The spawn of a mini-universe simulate to solve the universal equation speedily, safely, and more importantly, accurately. At least within margin of error. Highly confident no catastrophic flaws will be revealed. Purge oxygen, initiate experiment.
Did it work? Did it work? See, Bejeweled, was it a success? What happened?
Hold the applause just yet. I need to run the numbers. I'm sending the others back up to you. They can describe the proceedings in detail.
I shall await their arrival. Anchoress Brunn out. That is how these messages end, yes? If not, farewell.
The results of the experiment will be a career-ending embarrassment for Anchoress Brunn, but she won't accept this lightly. We'll need to do more.
Yes, our next steps here will be crucial. I know this type of mission well. Granted, my targets were always meticulously well-researched beforehand.
You'll need to convince her, destroy her logic, end this research for good.
Gonna involve math, isn't it?
All it requires is a forceful array of incisive argumentation, logical reasoning, coercive persuasion, and cognitive contortioning.
You mean one of our old brain-off maneuvers? Really? That's what the rank and file in our old department used to call it. Provost Bolding considered it a casual moniker unbefitting of an order scientician.
Make Brunn give up on science, logic, and reason entirely. Then no one will ever dare continue the research again. Between you and Marisol, it should be a light challenge. Easy.
That sounds particularly
easy. A
easy.
brain-off against an Order anchorite isn't entirely without risk. We could employ certain other methods to deal with her. From our former department's playbook.
Oh, yes, a book you wrote titled Making an Execution Look Like an Accident. Despite the moral quandary ideally involved, unseen consequences still abound.
That's hyperbolic at best. Data suggests significantly fewer unpredicted outcomes than outright murder, if properly executed. And I'm quite capable of skewing results in our favor.
And here I thought you'd begun to change.
The potential drawbacks to our logic bomb.
Success isn't guaranteed. A fair degree of cleverness is required. But you would have the help of someone reasonably intellectually nimble.
I would be willing and on hand to assist, and the other option would remain if we botch it.
Did you hear the teammates opinion
Seen
about
folk
this?
wrestle with logic, but not box with logic. I'm ready for a show.
It's like you have a clear preference here,
I'm not
Marshall.
arguing it's the best option, just that it is an option. Rightly or wrongly, I am familiar with the cost involved.
The Order of the Ascendant should be dedicated to uplifting humanity, not racking up a body count unduly. Our former department was shut down for things like this.
Let's convince Anchoress Brunn that she's another filler, but try to leave her alive.
Thank you for listening. That's a relief.
Honestly, I'm relieved as well. I have been trying to be different. From the person others believe me to be.
From the legend? If you're retiring as the endpoint, we'll need to find you a colorful new sobriquet.
First brain off. Any advice?
Typical argumentation may prove useless, and she'll likely see through most attempts at deception. Be clever, unpredictable, surprise her. But in the event you should fail, you'll need a viable backup plan, or it will erase any chance of success completely. The Anchoress is housed in a test chamber similar to this one. It's been refurbished with some rather tacky furniture, but much of the old experimental apparatus remains. There is a hatch near the elevator upstairs. An external ledge leads to a vent system that can connect the two chambers. Doing so will expose the Anchoress to a lethal atmosphere. I'll need to make an announcement afterward that an accident has occurred tied into the experiment.
For an extemporaneous plan, it's not a bad one. What if the Anchoress realizes what we're doing and calls for help?
I'll cut off her comms when she begins pleading. Oh, that sounds even more heartless when I say it out loud. Please choose wisely.
Where we should go.
Here's the hatch key in case you need it. May all your endeavors elicit expected results. And Marisol, do keep out of trouble.
There you are. You saw the experiment through to the end, yes? The data hasn't arrived yet, so please do tell. Was it as beautiful as I imagined? Any inklings to the result? Or perhaps I oughtn't to have recloistered myself till after the experiment concluded, Well, don't just stand there. Tell me everything.
Very thorough, but there were some issues.
Some issues? You seem like softening the blow. Was there a malfunction? Was there some error in the calculations? Wait. Let's start from the beginning. Step me through your understanding of what's gone awry.
It was deeply flawed in conceptual level.
Really? In what way?
Spawning a Fox mini universe to solve the universal equation doesn't make a lick of sense.
Did Seer Bujold fail to explain? Using her theorem, we can map the position and path of every atom in a simulated universe, then extrapolate that to solve the equation. This was just a start. Such models typically make an enormous amount of errors at first. All quite expected, an anticipated setback, nothing more. It simply needs to be revised and refined. You certainly seem to be making a lot out of this, though, one must say.
Doubted your plans. Her final words claimed you were swayed by flattery.
I miss her skepticalness and insight. If we could agree on a topic, there could be little doubt in its logic and rectitude. Look, there may be some validity to some of your points, yes. But we'll improve. We will continue to stride forward. There's absolutely no need for all this doom and gloom.
Sure, because the predictions imply both of you are inevitable if you pursue this.
Oh, is one of you a seer now? Because I put considerable more stock in the prognostications of the Order's prime mathematicians than I do any old run-of-the-mill soothsayer. Now, is that all? Because I think I've had enough of all this. Everything we've done here is built off Seer Bujold's research, which is quite brilliant.
think it's brilliant because you fail to grasp all the intrinsic
That's
errors.
both incorrect and rather mean. Ah, the experiment data just arrived in my terminal. Allow me to eyeball it a moment. Perhaps there's something here to help prove or disprove any of what you've been saying. There was notable variance to the input data, to an extent suggesting external dithering occurred. I hate to use the word sabotage, but disruptive intent seems clearly discernible.
Well, don't make up your mind quite yet. There's more to discuss.
I strongly doubt there's much more to say. I fear this was a waste of valuable time.
If I may, I have a point I'd like to add.
By all means.
There's a critical flaw in Sir Bujold's approach I think best illustrated by this English phrase. Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. I much appreciate this jest. Very simple, yet clever. Because in English, the word like can mean similar to or I prefer. And flies can be to soar, or plural of the insect. Through this perspective, it functions, makes sense, is humorous even. But in another language where words' meanings differ slightly, it does not. The framework we interpret the statement from changes, thus rendering it uninterpretable. False. Bujold's method of shortcutting the universal equation is much the same.
It lacks context. When you extrapolate the data from the mini-universe to the larger one, the information itself may scale correctly, but fail to interrelate. This has been a difficult conversation. Challenging, disputatious, at times compelling. Yet I remain unswayed.
We tried. Our fallback plan's our only option now. Head for the hatch.
What was that? You're starting to worry me. What do you intend to do?
I'll meet you out on the landing pad once this is done.
I gotta figure out if I missed anything.
The experiment data just arrived in. There was notable variance to the input data, to an extent suggesting external.
Do I need to go to a lower floor? I mean, I assume I need to go to a lower floor to get to where... Oh, wait. No. Never mind, I figured it out. Originally devised reroute ventilation between the two test chambers during special larger scale testing. Doing so now would expose a refurbished chamber and a nefarious atmosphere created during the earlier Miniverse experiment. Complete all companion quests.
Fellow scholars of the Order, a tragic accident has occurred. During our recent experiment in Test Chamber Beta, we failed to recognize that ventilation systems had been left connected to Test Chamber Alpha. As you know, it had been recently refurbished as an enclosure for Ankaris Brahm. She gave her life for science. Well, it's true that we found the related research deeply flawed. She gave her life for the pursuit of science. As the experiment was a colossal failure, I, as senior scientist remaining, have determined we must abandon this inquiry and shut down the program immediately. Oh, such a terrible shame. Farewell!
I understand now why they say never meet your heroes, Intercessor Delgado. You've truly been an enormous disappointment. A key experiment fails and Ankaris Brun falls prey to an unfortunate accident right after you and your consort arrive. And we are all to believe these events are unrelated?
That's circumstantial and more than a mite bit paranoid. I expect better from an Order scientician. Even one from the Department of Applied Scientism.
Don't think I don't see your handprints all over this, Delgado.
That was your first workplace accident and you're feeling guilty about it, I see.
Don't try to lay the responsibility for this on me. I'm not buying it. The Ankaris, poor trusting soul that she was, may have believed you were here in good faith, but I don't. You're looking more and more like enemies to me.
Discovered a great deal of falsified data in the underlying research.
Fascinating. You know, I reviewed that work myself, right? I'm well versed in manipulative prevarication from feckless mutineers. Try again. Or try facing a gauntlet of well-trained exemplars. I could always choose for you.
Outsized amount of faith in Sierra Beholds science. She's a fraud.
Really? You don't say. I know you're to blame. I just wanted to see how far you were gonna take this. I can't believe Ankaris Brun fell for any of it. Fellow exemplars of the Order, commence hostilities!
Let's not program.
Your possibilities are limited. I'll handle it. Always crabby. They've been numb. Torpification negative. Recharge incomplete. I have a fix on their weaknesses. You've suffered extensive damage. Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Back in business.
This thing's got a mean streak. The Crabble Claw's angry.
Standing by to stupefy. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Look at all these bodies. So, I mean, we tried resolving it peacefully, but they didn't make it easy, so, yeah.
Oh, look who it is. The legendary former head intercessor of the Order. Another mission successfully completed. Made it through all that without a scratch, hmm? Glad to see. Say, I know this was difficult and rather a mess, but you listened. You tried to do right before you did what you must. I appreciate it, the attempt. No matter how that may sound.
The credit or blame belongs to the commander here. It was their decision, ultimately.
You forget I know you. You always thought you knew better. No one could ever convince you of anything. Before, that is. Good to see. Maybe you are facing yourself.
There are a few things I'm still not used to saying. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Please. And thank you. But Thank you, Anais.
At any rate, I'm off. You all take care now. Marisol, don't be too enigmatic or anything. Try. Before I forget. Meant to give you this earlier.
Oh, thank you, Anais. Goodbye.
Guess we'll never know what happened to Archie's Chow.
Oh, Brunn obviously murdered her. Thought you knew that. Perhaps it was an accident. Perhaps she simply wanted to knock Chow unconscious so she could sneak away. Or not. Indefinite immurement isn't for everyone. Even the finest minds may crack under the strain. But her canned, feigned concern about Chow, how she kept changing the subject, both belied an underlying sense of guilt to me.
Sure you're doing all right after all that, Mars?
Oh, not really. Not yet, at any rate. Everything's a bit raw right now. But suppose I will be. Thank you, dear.
Might take some time for Marisol to see yet, but I reckon this was the best possible outcome. There's always another way. Now she knows that too.
Commander, it's customary to evaluate results after a mission of reasonable significance. Would now be good? I've had some time to cogitate over what occurred at Point Obviation. Some parts don't sit right with me still. Wonder if you and I might talk it through.
Stuck thinking about what happened at Archlight Brunn.
A bit, yes. With the work I used to do, I'm no stranger to guilt and regret. Midway into my requisite sleep cycle is when it usually plagues me the most. We could have done better by Anchoress Brunn. If we'd properly convinced her to abandon the research, I'd doubtlessly still lament duping her, but she'd be alive. And yet, such actions were par for the course for me in the past. When my remorse for Brunn rears its head, it will need to get in line.
Waiting for Anchoress Brunn's fate would fall on her and her exemplar.
Yes, Southworth was complicit. And now she's dead.
You won't have to worry about the universe ending now for that reason, that is.
I hope so, at least. According to Anais, we could have reduced the likelihood of that occurring by completing the brain off. It's not anywhere near zero, but it's unlikely.
As some time has passed, how are you feeling about how you left things with Anais?
She seemed pleased that we at least attempted to address her concerns, so I've changed, apparently. Thanks to you.
So you do seem different. You've been beaming since we left the Point of Oblivion. Deviation, my bad.
It's been a while since anyone gave me a good talking to like Anais did. And I'll admit your influence has been rather positive. I'm pleased with the path I'm on now. I didn't think this is what the plan had in store for me. I've been facing myself with the same zeal I face my enemies. With tidier results. Appreciate you taking the time to talk it over, Commander.
There's her companion ability when it deals damage. Consideration of hostile effects on her target. So it gains shield whenever you spend gadget energy. Also slightly increases effectiveness for armor. Gains charge for companion ability whenever she takes damage.
Auntie's Choice Immunosol. Multi-spectrum antibiotics and convenient injection.
We gotta go break up that strike. I think we'll try to get that done before we call it a stream. Actually, I wanted to look at this real quick because we did get a unique weapon. Aggravator. Fires tiny plasma heated pellets for good enemies? Good enemies. Ah, okay. Kill your enemies when you can annoy them. Really, this is like, you know, the answer to that. We're stumped here. Got my PC like working its ass off right now, loading into this planet.
This facility is the only thing keeping us from being
Oh
reduced.
there. Approach the gate and identify yourself if you're looking for access.
Certainly a dramatic way to go.
Well, of all the improbable sights I'd never imagined to actually see, folks simply wandering around the Badlands of Praetor would be near the top of that list. I've not the mind to solve the equation that demonstrates how unlikely it is you've survived enemy combatants, hostile critters, and endless lightning in near equal measure.
My pad's literally right there. Getting here was really, really easy.
Is that so? Amusingly enough, I'm inclined to believe you, which means you might be just the help Exemplar Simon's been waiting for.
My, how deliberately vague. Are you at least going to tell me what this place is?
The grounding station was built to help manage and offset the lightning that illuminates the sky and scorches the ground without pause or penance. They also used the station for a number of experiments that they ultimately lacked the capacity to complete. But, suffice it to say, we far exceeded those limitations. Nevertheless, the Exemplar is in need of help to complete his research, and our small squad lacks the manpower to provide it. But you might be the universal variable we've been waiting for.
I'll consider it. What should I do if I decide
He
to
is
help?
in the lab atop the hydraulicalized lift. Ironically, the lift was struck by lightning while the station was being reset and is stuck in its raised position. There is a trail that leads to the top. Just mind the jump onto the platform, and don't touch anything glowing, sparking, or obviously shedding lightning on your way there. And given the situation we find ourselves in, I'll be leaving the gate charged unless you're ready to pass through it. Just approach, and I'll power it down for you. Approach the gate, and I can open it for you. Your efficiency has improved my efficiency.
Greetings, unaffiliated individual? Could you be a freelancer? A gun for hire? Might you be interested in a job involving the removal of dangerous creatures?
Could be, depends on the
Very
job.
well. There's a cave directly southeast of our position, positively infested with raptidons. If you exterminate the lot of them, I'll upgrade your basic entry permissions to allow for purchase of our surplus of supplies.
Sure thing, a few Rapidons, no problem for me.
Oh, this is so exciting. I can feel the rate of my blood flow increasing.
And it said to take the path up to get to her. Taking up position as guard for the grounding station supply cache. The allocated supplies have been oriented according to the protocols. This posting can now be considered manned and enabled, and anti-choice units attempting to approach Vector will be unpleasantly reminded of the order that sees all eventualities. Pentium. It is weeks down Solitude has become disquieting. Has my existence become meaningless? At first I thought this constant crashing of thunder and the roaring of nearby Reptidons would drive me mad, but now I can beginning to find wisdom in sonic perturbations. Perhaps tomorrow I will ascend towards the Rapidons and ask for the council for my place in the equation. Initiate where?
So, you're the mysterious individual that's caused such a stir across Arcadia? Well, it is my sincerest of pleasures to meet you. I am Exemplar Simon, head of research at this station. Please consider me your personal conduit to this meager, yet profound portion of the universal equation. How may I be of service?
I crashed the malfunction tower, and after fixing it, it told me to come here.
Ah! So you're the reason I've been alerted to recalibrations. I'd wondered why some of these systems suddenly came back online. Originally, the Protectorate designed this facility to control those grounding towers, which are the only thing keeping Praetor's ceaseless lightning from turning us all into ash. And to be sure, that is the only reason Anti or the Protectorate haven't taken this place by force. They are rightly terrified of what happens if this station goes offline. However, neglect during this conflict led to Axons shorting at 5 of the towers, causing gross misalignment. If they aren't realigned, the failures will catastrophically cascade.
And you need me to realign them, I can do
Wonderful. In order to recalibrate a tower, you must find the malfunctioning panel inside their control room and reset it. And to speed you along, I can offer a unique incentive. Prior to being driven from this facility, the Protectorate was exploring lightning-powered explosives.
Ooh.
The concept was clearly beyond them, but I have already solved their errors. So with each tower you align, I can produce a batch of the explosives they theorized, and I would happily share them with you.
I think I can come back after aligning the tower and pick up lightning grenades?
Indeed. When aligned, each tower fills a capacitor I've modified, which provides me with enough electrical accumulation to fabricate a handful of these explosives. Unfortunately, the capacitors are only able to hold the charge for mere moments before failing catastrophically. Thus, I'm limited in production by the 5 capacitors that remain. So, for each tower you align, I am able to fabricate a handful of these electron explosives, the sum of which I shall share with you.
You know, electron explosives, I'm in.
That is fantastic news. I'll begin fabrication as soon as you've aligned each tower, and so I shall have the explosives ready for you upon your return.
I am at my wit's end with the damn Protectorate safe. If you can open it, whatever's inside is yours. I'll wash my hands of it.
Have an intellectually stimulating day.
I wish I had skill, but I'm never gonna have that skill because of how low my lockpick is this far in the game.
Combatant stand. Mitigating the threat. Taking the fight out of them. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Unready. Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
So many of these little shits killed. Damage, Commander. God damn, Joe. Joe's like, I'm going for being a millionaire now.
Our intrepid Pathfinder returns. Do you have the recalibration news I've been breathlessly awaiting? Sadly, there's little more I can share. They are obvious to see around this region of Praetor, but I've no good clue as to what may impede your progress at each location. We are simply too short on manpower to explore the towers ourselves, else we would have fixed them ages ago. Nevertheless, it may please you to know that my work correcting the Protectorate's research continues to improve, so it is possible I may have more good news upon your completion.
Slacks, the Welcome to Daryl show on HBO is so fucking awesome. I've never heard of it.
You've returned. Are the Raptidons vanquished? Have you completed the job?
Yes, Raptidons are all dead. The cave is clear.
Oh, incredible. Then, as the prime requisitionist currently at this station, I confer to you upgraded permissions that allow for surplus supply purchases.
Plasma SMG, damn.
back. Do you require additional supplies for
Damn, level 29. Ooh. Got one more level left, guys. One more level. And we'll be capped out at 30. That's crazy to think about.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night.
But yeah, we're getting close to capping out our level. And I'm pretty sure we'll probably do that before we even finish the main story. Well, before we finish the main story, so yeah. As I said, hopefully in the future when they do DLCs, they up the level a little bit, hopefully. But yeah, we're gonna call it here. I think it's a good stopping point for now. Knocked out all the companion quests, which is great, and then pretty much now we just got side quests and the main quest.
So, you launched the Vox station into space. That probably took slightly more effort than dropping it on a town and killing a bunch of people. Give yourself a pat on the back.